नमो तस्सा भगवतो हरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्सा नमो तस्सा भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्सा नमो तस्सा भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्सा. Today we are going to speak on Chitta and Cetasika. That means what exactly the meaning of Chitta and Cetasika with respect to science. If you go to Bhagavan's teaching, Tripitaka, we will come across these two terms, Chitta and Cetasika, frequently, especially in Abhidhamma. To understand Dhamma properly, to understand Abhidhamma properly, we need to know what exactly the meaning of Chitta and Cetasika. Does Bhagavan is given any belief in it? Is there Chitta really exist? Is there Chitta, Cetasika really exist? These things we have to understand properly. Then we can handle it. Let us understand each and every aspect of Chitta and Cetasika with respect to science. See this definition of Chitta. What is Chitta actually? See, in English we say it is a consciousness, it is an awareness, and mental factors. So these are the three different definitions given to Chitta. If you understand Chitta, then you can easily understand Cetasika. What Buddha says about the Chitta? Chinteti Chittam. Chinteti Chittam. One which thinks of something is consciousness. One which thinks of something is consciousness. Vijanati Chittam. One which cognizes, one which pursues, one which understands is consciousness. Aramana Vijanati Chittam. So one which understands, one which pursues, Vanna, Gandha, Saddha, Rasa, Pattama is Chitta. So these are the definitions usually given in Abhidhamma. Which one is correct? All of are correct. You cannot give a single definition for consciousness. That is Chitta. It is because Chitta appears in many ways. Chitta do many functions. So you cannot universal definitions for that. Chinteti Chittam is also correct. Vijanati Chitta is also correct. Aramana Vijanati Chittam is also correct. One which thinks, one which cognizes, one which pursues these five energies, Varna, Gandha, Sattva, Rasa, Pattava, is also a Chitta or consciousness. And if you look into the waveforms here, Chitta, Buddha says, Chitta has got three states: Uppada, Titi, Bhanga, rising, stable, and decay. Rising, stable, and decay. If you look at this, you will find two waves. One is Chitta, the red one is Chitta, the pink one is Cetasika. And this period is called Chittakana. The time taken for each Chitta is Chittakana. That means Chitta is graphically represented here, this waveform. If there is a Chitta, there will be Cetasika. Whatever the characteristic the Chitta has, the Cetasika also has the same characteristic. Maybe the amplitude also. Whatever the frequency the Chitta has, the Cetasika also same frequencies. So Chitta and Cetasika rises together, stays together, and decay together. Chitta is a moment to moment changing entity, Buddha says. It changes moment to moment. It is not stable. So similarly, because of these three stages, each of these states continuously changing, the time taken for all these three states is called one Chitta Kana. The Chitta and Chetasika is always arises together and decays together and stays together also. And I've already told you the characteristic of Chitta and Chetasika is always same. This is the simple definition of Chitta and the graphical representations and three states of Chitta and Chetasika. Let us go to types of Chitta. Now, if we look into types of Chitta, if you look into types of Chitta, see you have a Chitta can be classified based on source from where Chitta arises. Chitta can be classified based on the effect it do, the condition it has, the result it gives. Based on these three factors, the Chitta can be classified. Chitta can also be classified based on the bhumi or avachara. That means at what frequency it is vibrating, at what place, what plane the frequency is available. Based on that also Chitta is classified. Based on the functions, type of functions it is going to do, we can classify the Chitta. Basically, these are the four types of Chitta we can classify available in Abhidhamma Pitaka. So now I have listed some of the important Chittas broadly classified, which are frequently used for study in Abhidhamma. The first one is Bhavanga Chitta. The second one is Pasada Chitta. Third one is Viti Chitta. Fourth one is Jyoti Chitta. Fifth one is Patichandi Chitta. And sixth one is Nibbana Chitta. What is this Bhavanga Chitta? This is life continuum consciousness. What it is? See, from conception to death, this Chitta is always vibrating in our body. And in this Chitta only, all our present life experiences, tendencies, playing, pleasure, feelings, everything is recorded in this Bhavanga Chitta. The second one is Pasada Chitta. The Pasada Chitta is means, Buddha says there are five Pasada Chitta. Sense cognized consciousness. We have five senses. I have already told you in definition of Chitta. See, I have given Vanna, Gandha, Saddha, Rasa, Patava. Vanna. What is this Vanna? See, if we see anything from our eyes, there is an object, there is a sea, which light falling on that object and reflected back and enter into our eyes. Within our eyes, there is a retina where this reflected light are falling on the retina through eyelids. What is this light reflected from the object? Is electromagnetic light rays. And in Pali, according to Buddha, it is Vanna. Vanna means Varna, light rays. Light rays in the form of electromagnetic radiation, which is falling on our retina. So, behind retina, we have cones and rod which are going to vibrate according to the color frequencies, so that vibration is going to reach the brain. What I mean, the outside object reflected in the form of Vanna enter into our eyes, which cannot be understood by our brain. So they need a conversion. They need a converting component. That converting component is called transducer or pasada in Pali. What it does, it takes outside energy, convert it into brain understandable energy. That is the job of pasada. So Vanna is taken from ice and translated into Chekku Pasada, translated into Chekku Vijnana, which reaches the brain. This is Gandha, that is smell. This is also a type of energy which is taken from the nose and it is converted into brain understandable energy, Gandha Pasada. Saddha, sound. It is also entered through your ear and Saddha Pasada, Sota Pasada translate or convert it into brain understandable energy and passed into brain. Rasa, which is generated in tongue, okay? Jivha Pasada, which converts this rasa into brain understandable. Pattava, that is all types of touch on our body is sensed by sensing object and converted into brain understandable energy. So these five energies, outside energies, which are converted from these five respective pasada and respective chitta is developed and passed on to brain. This is called sense cognized consciousness. Chakku vinyana, sota vinyana, gandha vinyana, rasa vinyana, pattaba vinyana. Usually we call this chitta generated by pasada. Then comes viti chitta, thought consciousness. See, usually whatever we do, we have to think and do. So there must be a thought process going on in our mind. So there are certain chittas always involved in thought process. Usually 17 chittas are involved in thought process. And these 17 chittas involved in each thought is called Viti chittas. So in a flip of a finger, blink of an eye, millions of thought processes going in our mind. So that means millions of individual different chittas are involved in thought process. So these chittas are called Viti chitta. And the fourth one is Chuti chitta. What is this Chuti chitta? This is the chitta which is developed at the time of just before the death. Just before the death, this Chuti chitta arises. This is also called death consciousness. Next comes the Patisandhi chitta, re-becoming consciousness. Usually we call it as a rebirth consciousness, and actually it is a re-becoming consciousness. But everywhere it has been translated as rebirth consciousness. Both are same, but we have to use re-becoming. Patisandhi chitta. What is this chitta? So I have already told you this is a Bhavanga chitta, the first chitta which is there in our body, which is going to accumulate all our tendencies, feelings, frequencies, and karma potential, whatever we generated in this life is going to be carried forwarded into the next life. And at the time of death, this chitta is arises, and this Bhavanga chitta is transformed into another type of chitta. It has been converted into another type of chitta that is called Patisandhi chitta when it comes out of the body. And usually we call it as a soul, but soul definition is different, but it is a vibrational energy cloud which is coming out of the body. Patisandhi chitta. This is the chitta which is ready to take birth, ready to go into the mother home, ready to go into the conceivable situations. Next is the Nibbana Chitta. And we have this 1 to 5 are conditioned chittas, conditioned. Because of certain condition, because of certain pachaya, these are arising and decaying. And if you nullify, if you make all these conditioned chitta zero, then comes unconditioned chitta, which is called Nibbana chitta. It is an enlightenment consciousness. So if your chitta is, this chitta is arisen in you, that means you have you are out of all conditioned things. Now you have been enlightened. Enlightened. When you enlighten, you will understand all the secret of the existence, all the secret of the birth, all secrets of every being's universe and personal. This is ultimate state of Chitta, enlightened consciousness, Nibbana Chitta. This is about the simple definitions of Chitta, types of Chitta, and now let us look into scientific definitions, whether these Chittas are available scientifically or not. Let us understand. And let us see this also, the origin of Chitta also. Here we have a Salayatana, 5 plus 1. 5 means 5 senses, and 1 is mind, Manindriya, mind consciousness. This tongue, eye, ear, nose, and the skin. So these are the senses, sense doors, which receives outside energy. Through pasada, it has been converted into respective chitta and transferred to brain. This we have already understood in pasada notes. This is the real source of chitta, from where the chitta is arising because of these five senses. All these five senses are conditioned. One more chitta which is coming from Hadayavatu, which is there in your heart, that is Sino-Atrio-Anode, we usually medically we call it as, from where the Manindriya, Mano-Chitta, mind door is developing, which is going to mix with these five senses during the thought process. And usually we call it as a Nama-rupa. To understand the origin of Chitta, basically we come across with these five senses. Bhagavan says, this being, all beings are made of Nama-rupa. What is this Nama-rupa? So in English, some says Nama means mind, Rupa means body. Some says Nama means mentality, Rupa means materiality. Whether this is correct or this is correct, we have to verify and understand. Okay. Let us now look into what is Nama-rupa exactly. Let me go to a chart now. Look at here. We, the beings, are made of Panchakanda, five aggregate. What are those Panchakanda? Four Namakanda, four, one Rupakanda. Four Namakanda and one Rupakanda. Kanda means aggregate, mass. Namakanda, what are the four Namakandas? Here, five Vedana Kanda, six Sanya Kanda, three Sankara Kanda, and this Vijnana Kanda. These are the Panchakandas. This Vijnana Kanda is once again divided into 89 different types of Chittas. This Sankara Kanda is once again divided into 52 Cetasika. This Chitta and Cetasika always together. So Panchakanda is nothing but Nama and Rupa, mentality and materiality. Nama means mental energy or mentality we can call. Rupa means materiality. It's not a matter. Matter is developed from materiality. Nama, mentality. From mentality only, this all chittas are developed. Chittas and chetasikas are developed. So, this Nama-rupa means nothing. Nama-rupa is nothing but Panchakanda. Panchakanda is nothing but these four kandas and these Rupa kandas. Altogether, we call it as a Panchakanda. If you analyze the Panchakanda in detail, it will be available in this chart. Now let us go back. So we have understood Nama and Rupa. Now here we can see something else is going on. So 17 pulses are going here. So what it is? It is chittas involved in thought process. There are 17 chittas involved in thought process. So that detail you can study later. So next, let us understand the human body structure. Then we can verify where exactly the chittas are available in our body and what exactly they are doing. Let us understand first the nerve system. Our body, the main part of our body is the network of nerves, nerve systems. Okay, so what he says, we have three nerve structures. The first one is the brain and the spinal cord and the peripheral nerve systems. The brain is nothing but a bunch of networks of nerves, neurons, and this is a backbone where all nerves are joined in this backbone. This is a spinal cord. From spinal cord, all peripheral nerves are connected to all organs of the body, parts of the body, tissues of the body. So whatever the senses taken place from your five senses or the body is sensed and passed through peripheral nerve system and to spinal cord and to the brain. And any informations you want to send from brain to peripheral nerve system, sorry, from brain to spinal cord, from spinal cord to peripheral nerve systems. So what actually happening in the brain? The brain is, see, the medical science says different areas of the brains are vibrated for different purposes, different senses. What it means? Vibrations. Vibrations means there is a development of some energy. What is that energy? Brain energy developed at the surface of the brain. Whether that energy matches with the Chitta Bhagavan Buddha said. And what is the energy which is flowing through your nervous system? Does it related to Chitta or Cetasika? We have to verify. So one thing you understand, some voltage is generated in the brain, some signal is flowing through nerve systems, spinal cord and peripheral nerve systems. You can understand with brain signals also. This is what see. If you see the surface of the brain, I have already told you, each surface is going to vibrate for different frequencies. What it means? That means each surface of the brain is going to develop a specific voltage. Also, it has got a frequency. Whatever which is vibrating, it has got a frequency. Anything which vibrate also has a frequency. So vibrations and frequencies are always together. Now let us look into this. Okay, what we saw here. So this is a neuron cell. Some blinking energy is flowing in the neuron. What is that blinking energy? It is nothing but impulse current. So medically, it is called action current. What is generated at the brain? It is action potential. Action potential means action voltage. What is flowing through the nervous system is action current. Action potential and action current, they are always together and they are corresponds to each other. The characteristics, the functions, the property of this action potential and action currents are same. This is nothing but your Chitta and Cetasika. Let us see this with an example. This I have already explained, Chekku Vinyana. Suppose if you want to see some object, there must be an object. The light should fall on the object. The reflected electromagnetic light rays reflected from the object is entered to your eyes and falls on, focuses on retina. Behind the retina, you have a cones and rods which is going to vibrate according to the color of this object. This is called Cheku Pasada, which converts this object outside Vanna, electromagnetic light energy, into brain understandable energy, that is Chakku Vijnana, which reaches the brain and it is measured 50 microvolts. This is also in terms of Chitta. You can see Uppada, Titi, Banga. You can also see here Uppada, very short period, Titi and Banga. Like this, a continuous Chittas are developed as long as you are observing the object, the continuous Chakku Vijnana reaches the brain. So, no doubt your Chitta and Chetasika is nothing but your brain action potential and action current, which has same properties, characteristics, and functions. That we call it as an action potential and action current. Actually, see, this is a waveform. This is what we have studied even in Avilama Chitta. This is a rising Upada Titi Banga. In all nerve cells of our body, this is the voltage which is responsible for action current. Any action you want to do, walking, speaking, sitting, rising, whatever your actions you do, you singing also, dancing also, there must be a intention developed in your brain. That is, there is a chitta developed in your brain. Correspondingly, the action current flows through your nerve so that it makes your body to expand, contract, rotate, and whatever actions if you want to do, it is going to be controlled by this nerve impulses, which is nothing but action potential and action current. In our word, it is Chitta and Cetasika. Let us have some comparison. This I have already look at this. This blinking energy or the vibration energy at the surface of the brain can be visualized like this. Okay. And if you want to plot a graph for that vibration, it appears like this. So the part you can write like this. This is a biovoltage or action potential I can call, and this is biocurrent or action potential. So it is true that Chitta is force of energy potential. Chitta is a force of energy potential at the brain. In other words, it's a biovoltage or action potential, and Cetasika, which is in red, is a biocurrent or action current. This is Cetasika. It is clear that there is no doubt that Chitta is an action potential, Cetasika is a action current. Let us see different types of brain waves. So you can see beta wave, alpha wave, delta wave, theta wave, and gamma waves. If you look at this, this is a continuous pulses of waves. So for study purpose, we have taken single pulse for ideal case. Actually, it will be like this. And if you go so close to this wave and take a single pulse and study that in detail, you will find Upada Titi Banga. And this continuous pulses will be like this, which is flowing or vibrating on the surface of the brain. So this is the waves, different types of different during awakened state, during sleep, during deep sleep, in different levels, the brain waves generated. And it's also you can find ECG, EEG signals, which also has the same type of shape if you go close to it and analyze. And this is an ideal case. This is an actual waveform. Actual waveform is taken as an ideal shape and studied. That's the difference between actual and ideal case. And what the scientist says about this consciousness, because science has not exploring the Abhidhamma. If they explore the Abhidhamma, both science and Abhidhamma meet together because Abhidhamma is beyond science, ultimate science. Many scientists they have explored to the peak level, and what the statement they have given that is going to match that statement of Abhidhamma, the statement of Buddha, what is given in Abhidhamma. Let us see some of the examples here. So look at this. What scientists say, anyone who becomes seriously involved in the pursuit of science becomes convinced that there is a spirit manifest in the laws of universe. What do you mean by spirit? It's an energy. What is that energy? It's a vibrational energy. If it is a vibrational energy, it has a frequency. A spirit vastly superior to that of a man. That is consciousness. And also Einstein says E is equal to mc square. E, where E is energy, m is a mass, where c is a velocity of light. The square of the velocity of the light, if any mass is vibrated to the square of the velocity of the mass, it becomes energy. Mass can be converted into energy, energy can also be converted into mass. Spirit is not a mechanical force, he says. It is not a gravity, it is not an electromagnetism. So, spirit is consciousness. That is what Chitta. Spirit means consciousness, which is Chitta. Again, Mark Planck says all matters originates and exists only by virtue of force. I have already told you, Chitta is a force of energy. Chitta is a force of energy. We must assume behind this force The existence of consciousness. What is the Chitta? And intelligent mind. That is a thought. This mind is the matrix of all matter. This is what uh, explained by Mark Planck. You can have another statement by Nikola Tesla. What he says, if you want to find the secret of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Energy, frequency, and vibration. So our chitta is nothing but an energy. It has got a vibration and it has got a frequencies. This is what identified by most prominent scientists. It is exactly matching the definitions given in Abhidhamma. And he says everything is controlled by this frequency, energy, and vibrations. The Buddha is already told you, Chittena niyati loko. Chittena niyati loko. That means all words are controlled by Chitta. All words are controlled by Chittas. So, so this says Chitta is nothing but a force of energy. It is also called action potential or biovoltage. Cetasika is nothing but a flow of energy, which is also biocurrent or action current. There is no doubt both are same. The function, property, waveform, characteristic, whatever you take, Chitta is similar to your biovoltage. Cetasika is similar to biocurrent. So there are various types of chitta developed in our body. You can go through Abhidhamma and you can understand and you can verify with the scientific definitions also. Let us see one of the example how the chitta looks when it is coming out of the body. This is one example where the rat is killed by rat trap. You can find something cloudy energy is going out of the body. So what it is? The four types of energy is going. It is not four types. There are many types. Some are visible, some are not visible. So these are the chitta or energies going out of the body. One energy is gone. Second one, third one, fourth one. See, so much to be there to identify or investigated by the science. Chitta is a cloud of energy of its own frequency. I hope you understand this concept, Chitta and Chetasika, in the scientific definitions. Thank you, everyone. Vandami.